Hello and welcome to Saurabh Sir's classes. Today we'll discuss some of the questions that appeared in the General English section of the ISS exam 2012. The first one of these is a set of words given and we have to construct sentences using these words. Now let's look at the words. The first one is conscientious. This means someone who's diligent, who takes extra care in his work, industrious, punctilious. So all these are synonyms of conscientious. And the sentence that we can construct using conscientious is being a conscientious worker, Arun ensured that all his assignments were delivered on time. So which means that he is a very diligent worker and he ensured that all his work was completed on time. The second one is deleterious, which means damaging or harmful, or detrimental, even dangerous. These are some of the synonyms of deleterious. Deleterious can be used in a sentence that says cigarette smoking is more deleterious than drinking. Deleterious to health than drinking. Cigarette smoking is more deleterious to health than drinking. The next word here is nebulous, which means hazy, not clear, or not well defined. And we can write a sentence like the distant figure that appeared to be nebulous on first sight happened to be my father's. Distant figure that appeared to be nebulous on first sight happened to be my father's. Or we can also write his nebulous intentions were not clear even to the august audience. Next, we have the word perseverance, which means persistence, tenacity, determination. That means to carry out a task amidst any difficulty. So we can construct a sentence that says perseverance is an important criteria for success, as it keeps you going under difficult situations. So perseverance is an important criteria for success, as it keeps you going under difficult situations. Next, we have the word wistful, which means yearning for the past, nostalgic, or looking behind to go back to the past. So wistful means you're yearning to go back to the past. So we can construct a sentence saying that we all become wistful while thinking of our childhood days. Next, we have a set of 5 sentences where we have to make changes as per directed in each of the sentence. So the first sentence says rewrite the sentence using the correct form of the verbs in the bracket. Now there are 2 verbs given. Roma write letters when she hear a noise outside. Now Roma is a singular person, so Roma cannot write, she writes. Write is plural form of the verb, and writes is singular. So similarly, Roma hears, not hear. Hear is again plural. So write will become writes, and hear will become hears. So the sentence will read like Roma writes letters when she hears a noise outside. Next, we go to sentence number B, which says rewrite the sentence using an appropriate modal auxiliary. Now what is modal auxiliary? Modal auxiliary are verbs which do not change forms. Do not change forms. Like you see here, write is plural and it becomes writes when used in a singular form. Here is plural, it becomes hears when it's used in a singular form. But there are words, or rather verbs, which don't change forms. And what are they? They are can, could, may, might, must, ought, shall, should, will, and would. These are English verbs that do not change forms when written from plural to singular or vice versa. Now we look at the sentence here. It says it is necessary for you to submit the application today. That means it's saying that you have to submit the application today, or you must submit the application today. Some people might tend to think about ought, but there's a difference between ought and must. Ought means you should do it. You are supposed to do it, but you may not do it. So it is not an absolute must. And must means you have to do it. There is no other way. So the sentence will read as you must. So we'll replace it is necessary for you to. We'll replace this with you must. You must submit the application today. So that would be the second sentence. Next we go to the third sentence, where we are told to combine the 2 sentences starting with that. Now the sentences are India has won the cricket match and it is a great news. Now, what is the great news? The great news is that India has won the match. And it is the word which connects the two sentences. It defines the event that India has won the cricket match, and it also mentions that it's a great news. So this is the connecting word. And we are told to start the sentence with that, which means that the connecting word has to be replaced with that. So the sentence will read like, that India has won the match is a great news. So we are replacing it with that. So that India has won the match, or the cricket match, don't change anything in the sentence. That India has won the cricket match is a great news. Next we go to sentence 4. This one says that we have to change the narration. Narration means from direct to indirect speech. That means it is told that he said to me, inverted bracket and whatever he said, and this has to be written in the indirect speech. We cannot use inverted commas in the indirect speech, and we have to convert all the verbs to their past tense. This is how you convert direct speech to an indirect speech. Also notice here that he's asking me a question because there's a question mark. So the sentence will read like, he asked me when I was leaving for Mumbai. Sorry, it is are, so it will be were, not was. He asked me when I were leaving for Mumbai, as he wanted, want becomes wanted, are becomes were. So he asked me when I were leaving for Mumbai, as he wanted to give a small packet, give me, you becomes me, a small packet for his son. My becomes his, you becomes me. So it will read like, he asked me when I were leaving for Mumbai, as he wanted to give me a small packet for his son. Next, we go to sentence number 5. This one asks us to change the voice. That means we have to change it from active to passive voice. So it says that someone has already paid the plumber his daily wages. So the act has been done by someone. That is the meaning of the sentence. And if I have to convert this into passive voice, then I have to start with the plumber. The plumber has already been paid his daily wages by someone. So look that in the active voice, the actor who has done the task, which is someone, comes first, and the receiver comes second. But in the passive voice, the receiver comes first and the actor comes after that. So this is the difference between active and passive voice. So in the passive voice, it will read like, the plumber has already been paid his daily wages by someone. Next, we are given a set of sentences and we have to correct them grammatically. So the first one says, I never remember to have met you anywhere. Now, remember to have met you anywhere is correct, but never doesn't go with remember to have met you anywhere. I do not remember to have met you anywhere. So never gets replaced by do not. I do not remember to have met you anywhere. That's the correct grammar. Next one says, he went to the railway station with a view to receive the guests. With a view is redundant here. It is not going with the sentence. It is not required. He went to the railway station to receive the guests would be the correct sentence. Next, no sooner had he started writing the letter when he discovered that he forgot his spectacles at home. Now the word no sooner goes with the word than. No sooner than. This is the combination. So no sooner had he started writing the letter than he discovered that he forgot his spectacles at home. Next, neither the manager nor the secretary are present in the office. So we are talking about one or the other. So we are talking about singular form. It is not plural. If it was said that both the manager and the secretary are present in the office or are not present in the office, then it would have been a correct sentence. But here it is told that neither the manager nor the secretary is present in the office. So one of them is not present in the office. Neither of them is present in the office. This is the meaning. And are is a plural form of the verb. So is a singular form which will go with the singular form of the sentence here. Next, he asked Ram why your father had lost his temper. So notice that this is in the form of indirect speech, and indirect speech has past tense and it cannot have your here, it has to have his. So he asked Ram why his father had lost his temper. So this is correct, but this is not correct. Why his father had lost his temper. If it was in the direct speech, then it could have been that he asked Ram why your father has lost his temper. Why your father has lost his temper, or why has your father lost his temper. This is more correct grammatically. Why has your father lost his temper? But here it would be why his father had lost his temper. Next, the fireman could not succeed to rescue the child although he could put out the fire. Now succeed cannot have to after it. Succeed in, he succeeded in, he did not succeed in. So the fireman could not succeed in rescuing in rescuing the child, although he could put out the fire. Next, the doctor told his patient that he will start the treatment only if he pays his fees. Notice that told is past tense, so this form of the verb will also have to be in past tense. So, and as well as pays. So, the doctor told his patient that he would start the treatment only if he paid his fees. Next, Ram is the tallest of all the other boys in the class. Ram is the tallest in the class. That's what it means. So Ram is the tallest of all the boys in the class, not all the other boys. Includes himself as well. Ram is tallest of all the boys, including himself, not only including the other boys. So Ram is the tallest of all the boys in the class is the correct one. Next, you don't want to marry her, isn't it? Now, when you say you don't want, you don't want to do something, you don't want to go to the hospital, do you? You ask this question, do you? You don't want to play cricket, do you? You don't want to travel, do you? So, don't want cannot be followed by isn't it. It has to be do you? Question mark. You don't want to marry her, comma, do you? Next, man and woman are waiting for you outside. So there are two people waiting. So one man and one woman. And it has to be very clearly told here, a man and a woman are waiting for you outside. If it was more than one, then like two men and four women are waiting for you outside. So you have to specify the number. So if it is singular, then you have to say a man and a woman are waiting for you outside.